2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can hear myself in the room. Hello, hello. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4, 5, 6. I can hear myself in the room. Hello, hello. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I talk into the microphone, you should be able to see the level. Yep. But that'll give you an indication that there's actually audio going into the computer. If you don't see these levels moving, there's nothing going to YouTube.
Now because if we did what Cheryl did, and I've never done it, this won't automatically be there, will it?
No. This is just a good troubleshooting step.
But if this were just on there and someone says there's no sound, we could minimize this and click on and it would show up then.
Correct. So what may have happened is, remember we were talking about that mix 3? So if someone would have turned controls what goes out. If you watch that level, I'll just turn this up and down. There's going up, 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 up. See, so if this at any was turned down, so 1, 2, and 3 are all up, and so is left, right. So that means we can hear it. If I turn this down, you can't hear it in the room, but you'll still hear it online.
Okay, now this master controls only the what do I call it?
So this master only controls what you're hearing in this room.
But that's the way. That's what that's only this room.
Correct.
So,
but this master still applies. So all these come before this master. It's kind of like trying to figure out what order they all come in. So it goes from here, and then it goes to the mixes, and then this is always the final output for each mix. Right. So I can have this turned down, and you can see I'm still sending to YouTube, and I can still hear it coming out of the phone.
Why?
Because this is only controlling this. This comes after this, so it goes through here, then to these levels, and then back out. This is the very last thing before it hits the speakers. So that means that's actually a good thing, because it means you can turn the sanctuary up and down without affecting the stream. So right now there's nothing in the sanctuary.
Because this is lit.
Correct.
If that weren't lit.
Well, one of these is always lit.
Yeah.
So if this were at 0, you can hear me in the room. And if I go to mix 4, that's obviously turned all the way down. It doesn't affect anything. If I turn YouTube. So this is the master output for each one of these. So if for some reason, let's say someone said the common areas, the hallway is too loud or not loud enough, you could go here and turn up the hallway, or turn the hallway down. It won't affect any of the other mixes. Same thing. Downstairs, they say it's way too loud. You want to turn it down. You can turn downstairs down, but it doesn't change what people hear in here. It doesn't change what the stream hears. Each one of these is the master, the overview volume for whichever one of these lights is lit. So right now it's the room. Now it's the common areas. Now it's the room.
You just said this follows these, but does this override, if I can say it this way, what's set up here?
Yes. So this is, like I said, this is the final output. So all of these come before it.
Yes.
This is one big mix, and then this is the master volume. So what this does is, let's say you had, a whole bunch of different mics set up.
Yeah.
Let's say you like the balance of how all those mics are. It's just too loud overall. This allows you to turn it down. Versus if this didn't exist, you'd have to go.
Yeah, that's it. Okay.
So instead of moving each one of these a line each time, you can just move this a line, and it kind of essentially does the same thing.
Why weren't we getting?
The only thing I can think of is that someone may have turned this down. Do the same thing. So the mic that I'm talking on currently is this one. So if someone went into here on YouTube, turn my phone back up so I can hear it. With recorded music.
Okay.
It's possible that someone would. It's possible the YouTube stream, you'd only want the microphones. So maybe you want to turn the DVD, the computer, and the CD off so that nothing copyright's going out to the internet, but only these mics are. So that's why these exist, is it allows you to pick and choose what goes out to the internet.
Okay, right now, what's going out to YouTube right now, right, is only these.
Correct.
Because it's really going to these, but they're all
turned down. Yeah, they're turned off. And actually, this is where it gets a little confusing. We might as well just treat these like on-off switches. If they're up, they're on. If they're down, they're off. Because after that, you still have to worry about this layer. So really, the only thing going to YouTube is mic 2, no matter which one of these, whether these are up or not, because they're not turned up on this layer. Now, if you had the CD on.
Wait a minute, you said this is all that's going to YouTube?
Well, because it's all that's going to the house. So if I wanted to put all these microphones to YouTube, I'd have to turn this up somehow.
Well, I thought that's what YouTube did. Here.
It does, but after the fact. So it's this fader first, then this fader, then this fader. So if you think of it in a big long line, it goes from the microphone to this channel to here to the speakers. It goes from this microphone to this channel to this fader to YouTube.
Okay. I must admit that's a little beyond me.
If I give you a line drawing, it might make a little more sense.
Well,
but it's you kind of have to keep in mind that these are tapped before that main fader on left right, but after these main faders on left right.
Well, let me ask you this. Right. Okay. What you're looking at here, because that is on, is what's going to the house.
Correct.
Right. Now, is it also going to these three?
Yes.
It's also going to those three.
Yep.
Okay, but
really, most of the time, you can just forget that these exist.
Yeah,
you never have any reason to go into these. In fact, you can turn those back up just so it doesn't upset the apple cart. But you can just forget that these exist and just mix on this layer.
Right.
Because what you do here is what will be heard in all 4 places.
Okay. Now, I got you. But, and I'm not going to toy with it. But if for some reason a person wanted to lower or raise the sound on any given one of those, it'd press the one
Mhm.
and deal with whatever you wanted.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, now, I'm gonna show you what I did. You tell me if I did wrong. And I did this after I chatted with you.
Mhm.
So I went to scenes,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and now, by the way, before I proceed, all three of those are checked. Should they all three be checked?
Yes, I believe the check is just telling you that they're successfully saved.
Okay, all right. So now here's what I did. I
Yep.
did that one and did recall.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But if I did all of that, right,
Mm-hmm.
and did some of that,
Mhm.
right? Okay. Now if I press recall,
Mhm.
it'll reset.
It's all going to go right back to zero. Yeah, I should say back to where I was.
What did you just do?
I just hit. Phone that I'm on. Hello, hello, hello. You should immediately see it's going to the computer. You can probably hear it coming through the phone.
Okay. Now show me one more time.
Mhm.
And, now, since I've learned to use that, I
Mhm.
don't want to change that because that's if we have any problem at all, the first thing I'm going to do is come in and recall that.
Yep.
And then if something's not working, I might call you. But that's the first thing I'm going to do.
In fact, I'm going to do something else here real quick.
Yeah.
So I'm going to call this emergency. And I'm going to store that there. So now you've got two copies of it. In case for some reason you would come in here and you hit store instead and you write all your bad settings over top of it,
Okay.
you've got an emergency here, which will do the same thing mine did, but it's
Right.
a backup of a backup.
Right. You wrote the same. Okay. For you, one last thing. Show me what you. If we're on Cheryl, let's say she's got this thing's on the screen,
Mhm.
right? That's what would be there during while we're on YouTube, right?
Yes.
But this isn't.
No.
Okay.
No.
She's not getting any sound.
Mhm.
Okay. What would you do?
So the first thing I do,
reference this.
yep, first thing I do, we'll say that this isn't open.
Yeah, yeah,
So
right,
someone says there's no sound.
right.
I'm gonna go into here.
Now, what did you do? You turn that off or?
Nope,
set it?
it's still, it's, if you use this little line,
Yeah, that's,
it'll
yeah, I did.
minimize
I
it
thought
down.
you hit the cancel.
Nope, no,
Go ahead.
just-
Okay, so you,
Then I double click this.
okay,
Yeah, click quick enough. That comes up.
okay,
People are talking. Let's see. Levels moving around. At that point, you know there's audio going to YouTube. So if someone's having a problem at home where they're not hearing something, it's not because it's not going to the internet. It's because they've got something turned down on their computer.
okay. If this is working.
Yep.
Now, put the screen back on,
Click back down here. If you kind of hover over these, usually they show you
Yeah.
a picture of what's
Yeah.
going to be there. So I think if you go into edit here, so let's say you came in here, you see that there's movement on these meters, and someone at home still says there's no audio. I believe you can go into edit. I think somewhere in here. Nope. It won't allow you to change it once it's started. I thought maybe you could change the source
all right.
where it was coming from. It's once you start it, it doesn't allow you to change
But
that.
for me, it's now running.
Mhm.
So minimize it, I know how to minimize it, and click the application.
Yep.
It'll show up like here.
Yep.
Now, when you go back to the scene,
Mhm.
whatever you call it, that will automatically pop up here in a second.
Now, if you want to see that over top of this, just click on here. Or I can put it so it's on top. You want to always see this on top on the screen? If, like, once you started, you want it always to be visible?
What do you think?
It's probably not a bad idea because you can always just hit the X if you want to close it. I can do
Okay.
that in options where I just
Okay.
say that I always want it on top.
Now,
So now, if I open this first and I go back to here, that'll be on top.
okay, if we start from 0, will it automatic, or we have to click it to get it back up?
You'll have to click it to open it. So the first,
But once it's open,
Mhm.
what,
do you use this computer for anything else?
well, no,
I say I can add this so that it starts up when the computer starts up, if you think it's helpful.
well, I don't know how to answer that.
Yeah.
What would you do?
It all depends. It depends on how turnkey you want it to be. If you think it's going to be annoying, then I would say let's not do
That's
it.
what I fear.
Yeah.
That's what I fear.
Yeah.
But, okay,
So let's make it so you have to open it up.
okay.
In fact, what I can do here too, I should have done it while it was open. I can actually add that down here.
Yeah, like that.
I can pin it so that.
Okay, so now, okay, so now you're back to,
Yep.
that would be, okay, if a person wanted now to see it, they could click on it here and it comes up,
And when they want to get rid of it, they hit the X, it goes away.
okay,
Want to see it again, hit the button again, comes on, hit the X, goes away.
that really does bother me. I mean, to have to call you and you come here, although you're teaching me a lot, which I appreciate, it bothers me that we weren't getting any sound, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
There's no, by the way, what connects, like, each one of these in the back has a plug, right?
Correct.
How do these get, these don't have plugs for them, do they?
They do. They have plugs where they come out.
Come out?
So just like these, each one of these cables that you see going in here for an input. Yeah, these are all the inputs.
Okay.
Below that, on the, in fact, I need to pull it up online. It's probably easier to show you. That's the stage box. I'll be zooming in more than that. Guess not. So each one of these is an input channel. So this would be channel 1, channel 2, channel 3, channel 4.
Right.
And this is what all your inputs come on.
Right.
And these lower ones here, these are all outputs. So this would be the output that goes to common areas. This would be the output that goes to downstairs. And this would be the output that comes over to the computer. And this left-right is the ones that go to the amplifier to go to the sanctuary. So pretty much if you look at that top half above the line, that's all inputs. Everything below the line, that's all outputs.
So these three are connected, they're outputs.
Yep, there's wires in the back there that go to this amplifier and the other amplifier. There's a little half rack somewhere. Yep, it's up here. So these one wire that goes from that 1 to here, 2 to here, and 3 comes across this little gray wire. It goes to the back of the computer.
And that's what YouTube.
Yep.
I can't tell you how annoyed I am, really. Although I very much. Okay, let me do this before we turn everything off. If you're, you want me to pay your company now, or y'all want to send?
Yeah, we'll send you a bill.
Okay, all right. Okay. All righty.
And then if you're done here, just hit end stream. And if you're done,